Alright, so today I will be working on my Game Boy Micro again, probably for the 20th time. So the situation is, I have a USB-C mod on this. So I want to show you guys, I just put this USB-C micro port on, or USB-C on my Game Boy Micro, but I totally forgot that the USB-C port, or basically any USB, has an output of 5 volts. You do not want 5 volts on your Game Boy Micro. Your Game Boy Micro takes about 3.7, an average of 3.7 volts or 3.8 charge, and if you go higher, you will have battery damage and you could fry some electronics very early on. They are rated for a specific voltage. So I just want to show you guys that when I plug this in, since there's no step down, I'm basically getting 5 volts or 5 or 4. We'll see right now. I have my 2 points. I got my ground and hot. So as you can see right there, I'm getting 5 volts. And so that's not what we want. So basically I have to mod it again, or remove the port and add a different port. So I have this port. I've been looking for a different port or some kind of resistor for this that I could add on simply, and I found a port on I believe Reddit it was, and it's called, I got it from someone named Micro Endeavors, which is Reddit name. I think his name is JB on Instagram. I will have to get his name, and I might put it at the end of the video for you all to see if I can get this good focused. There we go. So it's just a USB-C port, but it's on a PCB board, and it has resistors on it that'll take that 5 volt to a 3.7 work. All we need to do now is just replace our USB-C port, and it'll be very simple. It really is only the four ports, and or the 4 solder joints and 2 little solder joints. A little piece of wire right here that I put my hot to my old port hot, and we'll just charge it at that. Alright, so what we're gonna do here is just preheat. I like to always just tin my iron a bit. Just a tiny bit. Not sure if you could see, but we're just gonna be heating up these ports and just removing a little bit, tiny bit at a time. Use a little solder wick. All right, so we have that part off. That's what it was. So basically, I think this will sit just like that. It fits pretty perfect. Let's see. see if I but you can see how that fits pretty good and snug there. So now all we have to do is add a little bit of solder to it. Right, and that should be enough to hold it in. Don't have to put my fingers anymore, just one little joint. Right, and you don't need much. You really don't need too much. So we'll just add a little bit of solder just to hold these pieces in. Excuse the big glob. Not that big chunk. So we'll just go ahead and alright, you can see there that I have soldered all joints right there. Now we just want to add some to the rest of this right here. Restart that, don't look too good there. Let's see if we can. Sorry if it's right there. So got all those 4 joints soldered. Pretty sturdy. So yeah, that's what it looks like now. If this camera will focus, right there. So got that on, and now we can check our voltage again. Alright, so have my battery plugged in here, and I have USB-C port plugged in. Now I can, we're going to be checking. Maybe there we go. So we'll just checking voltage. Try not to get in the way. So we are now charging at 4 volts instead of our original 5 volts, which is definitely a step down. I mean, 1 volt is quite a bit when we're dealing with batteries and small electronics. So that went pretty well. Alright, so just want to give one shout out to Micro Endeavors to who I found on Reddit when I was looking for a USB-C mod post. I originally started with this, and I was able to make the housing actually just, you know, kind of work with the actual ports that were made for the original microcharger. All I had to do was kind of bend and distort the legs a tiny bit, and then add my own wire from one of my, I don't know if you can, from one of my hot ports to my hot port on the micro. But I decided this was a little bit cleaner look, and I really liked the way his came out on this PCB board. I decided, yeah, also, like I said, the voltage needed to be dropped down from 5 volt to 4, and with this PCB board and resistor he made, it drops it down to about 4 volt, which is a huge improvement, about 3.9 to 4.0. So it's a big improvement and should save my battery. And I will be doing more to this motherboard once I receive more parts. Right now I have my screen finally, my battery, I have new buttons, new shoulder buttons that I added because the other ones were completely rusted. These are focus again. And the side buttons were also completely rusted, but they are brand new. I can focus, there we go, it's a little better. Yeah, so brand new. Alright, thanks once again.